Oh, okay. I think I'm live. All right, so let me just test this real quick. I'm gonna do another one in a minute, but I just want to make sure that this somehow exists on the internet. Oh, you know what I can do? Wait a second. I could probably see it on my phone. All right, give me a second, folks. Uh, yeah, this is fun. I'm excited. Yep, I'm live. Let's see. All right, give me a second, folks. Okay, cool. So, yep, it's a thing. I'm live. So, I'm going to start building up this thing. I got tons of wood in my inventory. I spoke to my wife, and she said the stripped logs is way, way better. It just looks nicer than the planks. So, we're going to try to figure that out today. It's going to be really tough. Basically, I think I'm just going to try to build up the majority of the cross as best I can with logs, and then go through and strip them. Ugh, it's a lot of extra work, but it's worth it if it looks good. So bear with me. I'm just going to chit-chat and hang out and do some fun things while I try to figure this all out, try to build up. And yeah, hopefully this is a fun first live stream for me. Let's see. I have a lot of extra wood in my inventory now, don't I? I don't need all those planks. Oh, man. This place can be so deadly. And you're going to see some extra stuff that maybe I do behind the scenes in between clips of my regular videos and whatnot. So this is cool. This is cool. I'm really excited. So let me just do that for now. I think that should be fine. I did want to, yeah, that's right. That's right. I wanted to count. I wanted to count the amount of blocks tall this is. I want to make sure I'm building it right from the start. You know, what is it that they say? Like, cut once, measure twice, whatever, right? Something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do here. So that's 15. That should be plenty if I did this at all correctly. So how wide is it? How deep is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 17. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So it is 17 by 17, but by what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is going to be tricky. 6, 7. Okay, so that's block number 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, that was good. Okay, for some reason it didn't look like a cube to me, but now we know. It's definitely a cube. So I guess a lot of block placing coming up, so hopefully we'll get to talking about some neat stuff and things. I just realized I have no idea how to see any sort of chat or if that's even a thing on YouTube or what. So if you guys are like doing something in chat or whatever, I'm such a noob. I don't even know how to view it right now. I'm just looking at my regular old Minecraft screen. So bear with me. Actually, is that a thing I can do? Can I look at it on my phone? Is that a thing? Huh? Chat publicly? No. Okay. Well, I don't expect to get much on there anyways. This is going to be cool though, and I think hopefully it saves after the fact, doesn't it? Okay. So I want to do another 17 blocks, right? So let's start with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, why am I counting? Durr. So, anyways, we're going to build up this really cool cross. I'm going to have to build it with the logs and then strip it. I think that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to place them into the world, then strip them, then mine them, which seems kind of silly. I guess I could strip them as I'm collecting them, as I'm harvesting more. I'm sure I'm going to need to get more wood at some point. But for now, this seems to be what makes sense to me. So that's that, right? And then this is just going to be one cube. I don't think it should matter really much, right? Well, that'll look fine, right? Right? Sorry, that's just an easy way to do it, so that's what it's going to look like. I hope this looks okay with like the transition between vertical and horizontal. Anyways, so this is cool. I haven't really worked with strip logs at all because they're fairly new to Minecraft, of course, and that looks sufficient. What do I want to do here? Let me get some basically scaffolding blocks in between, just because I do want to keep the whoozy whatsits and the thingy whoosies all together. Anyways, so guys, this is super cool. I'm so excited that I'm actually live streaming. This is so cool. I figured this would be a good day to do it because my wife's out doing other things, so I'm just hanging out. Yeah, so I have plenty of time to do it, and hopefully I get a lot of the structure in for this cross. I hope I don't have, like, nowhere near enough wood. Hopefully I have, like, kind of close to the amount of wood that I'm gonna need. Yeah, anyways. But I figured I would just talk. So last episode, right, in episode 10, I believe it was. Oh, I did this wrong. What am I doing? Ooh, sorry. Yikes, that's not good. Let's do that, and then do. So yeah, I talked about why I'm Surgeon, and remember what I was talking about, how I got the name. Remember, that's my rapper name. I'm not like saying this is me, this is my name, or anything like that. You know, although of course it is part of your identity when you have like a rapper name. In many ways, that's what some people know you as. So it's important. It's important to get one you like. It's important to have it mean something and all that stuff, just like picking a YouTube channel name or Minecraft name. My name used to be different. If you go back and I'm just gonna talk about this now, I suppose there's no better time. Waste no logs. There's no better time to talk about the fact that when I first started and I posted my first video on this channel, my Minecraft name was different and my skin was different, but then I really wanted to just make it more me and not just something silly I came up with my friends when Minecraft was just a game that we play. So, since I knew that this was going to be a more public thing, I wanted to change some things. First up, what? I did it wrong again? How can I be so silly? How can I be so silly? Okay. Whoopsies. Anyways, my skin was, well, so when we all started, I started a little bit later than my friends did, and they all came up with this really funny, cool idea, which I'm sure they weren't the only ones, where, you know, you start off in the woods and you have nothing, so why would you start with clothes, right? What, that doesn't make sense, how Steve just has clothes on. I'm sure it's just to keep it all appropriate and all, but, when they started, their characters in Minecraft didn't have clothes on. But they didn't, you know, it wasn't anything inappropriate, they didn't show anything gross, but it was just a funny, cute little thing that they did. And so my character as well did it, but I told them I want to be Tony Stark. So they were like, yeah, but you have to be, you know, you can't be wearing clothes, man. Like, so that was a really cool idea. It's funny. I love it. But I was stark naked. I was a naked Tony Stark. And one, I mean, I don't own any rights to Tony Stark or anything like that. I was not sure if that was going to cause any issues down the road. I also knew that you know, just being naked is not great for like YouTube and AdSense and things like that, and I think just about every one of my videos would eventually get demonetized if that's ever a thing for me, you know what I mean? If I ever look into monetization, it would not make things easier, that's for sure. So yeah, I decided to do away with Stark Naked, and I made this skin based on, you know, my rapper name and based on all that stuff, and so I made my channel name Surgeon, like my rapper name and all that good stuff, right? So, before the name was just like my first initial, my last name, and whatever, right? It's just a number. So, didn't really have any meaning to it. And it wasn't very easy to remember. It wasn't catchy. Wasn't any of that. So I wanted something memorable, catchy, all that good stuff. I think that's important. I think that's important if you want to do anything public. You know, be a little catchy, be a little memorable, right? That's all good. Oh, I already love this. I know that this is better than planks. I'm glad I'm doing this. Thanks, Kelly. That's my wife. Yeah. So that was good advice. I'm already liking the way this looks. What is this effect I have? I have absorption, huh? From eating those silly apples, and man, does it last long. Hey, I can't complain. 2 extra hearts just for eating some of my gold. I'll take it. So how do I want to do this? I'm a big dummy, but I think we'll figure it out like so, right? Yeah. I'm going to need some scaffolding blocks. In fact, if I'm going to scaffold, I might as well use dirt, right? That's the typical scaffolding block because you can just mine it away instantly. So let's get some dirt instead. Shall we? Let's do this and this and this. Da-da-da-da-da. And this is the problem too. When you're playing Minecraft, you're like mid-sentence, you're like, oh wait, I need to do this Minecraft thing, and I might as well explain myself. And so then I get lost with what I was talking about. But yeah. Minecraft is such an amazing game. Of course, it's my favorite game ever. I love it. Where's all my rockets at? I figured I needed more rockets. So let's do some of that. And yeah, I love it. So I just really wanted to start a YouTube channel, and you know, I play a lot of Minecraft, so I said, hey, why don't I just, you know, post it to YouTube, you know, entertain some folks maybe, and who knows, you know, who knows what it'll become. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at right now. Just something neat, something cool that I wanted to do, and I've been wanting to do it for a long time. It's tricky. It's tricky. I needed to make sure my computer could handle it, right? So I needed to do some upgrades on my computer because just recording a video and playing Minecraft at the same time for a while was just not gonna cut it. It just, like, my computer couldn't handle it. That's how I made my computer for like $1,000. Fairly cheap, right? And it, you know, wasn't anything special. My friend LC, that's what I call him, is his nickname. My friend LC helped me build my computer. He helped build Alex's computer and his own computer, and so like pretty much my whole group of friends, I think, right? Well, there's of course some that aren't so into games, but all my gamer friends, you know, have a LC built computer. LC built them, and it's good, but I told him, you know, I can't pay too much for it, and so I didn't have the greatest specs. I was able to make some upgrades recently, which allowed me to record videos and apparently now live stream, and I hope the quality is good on this live stream. I don't know how that all affects, like if it's can be extra lag. I don't really know what live stream is all about, guys. So this is just a test, really, more than anything, and it figured to put all this into a live stream makes way more sense than to try to like squeeze it into a video or just do one big jump cut like, hey, I have a cross now. At least now the building of this is documented, and you can kind of know what it's like to build in Minecraft if you really don't play it a lot. I know that some of the people that watch this actually don't play a whole lot of Minecraft. They just watch it because it's me and I'm their friend, or they know me from this and that. And yeah, so I just figure this makes a lot of sense, does it not? So this is really cool. I actually like the fact that I'm having to, and I don't know what this is going to do to my axe. Does it take durability? We're doing some testing. 1251. So that was 4. Yep. And it seems like, oh no, was that 3? It seems like it doesn't always take the damage. 1251. Am I just that bad at, no, that only cost me 2. 4. That cost me 1. Oh, so it's definitely, I think because I have Unbreaking 3, it's not always going to create damage, I suppose. Ooh, this looks good. Again, thanks for the feedback. This looks good. Oh, it looks so good. I'm excited. And see how already you can just tell this is drastically different than the test one that we did in that test world where it was just like literally, what was it, 3x3 or something, or 9x9? No, what was it? It was 3x3? Yeah. This is drastically different already. It's just that even though it's the same blocks, it just looks so much better because it's like an actual legit build and not just like a structure, if that makes sense. And I feel like this says, hey, this is like a building that you can come inside and all that stuff. So, look at all those bad baddies down there. Huh. Interesting. So, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let me just silence my phones in case they go off. That's always something so annoying to me, whether it's live. I've watched, you know, I watch plenty of live streams. I watch Impulse and I'm going to embarrass myself and forget his name. Tango Tech. Don't worry, Tango. It's just because I was fighting a spider. I was focusing. No, but I watch their live streams pretty much every Friday. Sometimes I have to catch them after the fact on Impulse's channel or whatever it may be. But I like to watch those guys on Mixer. You know, I've heard recommendations that, oh, I should try to do Twitch, but I don't really know how that works. So I figured I think I can figure out the YouTube streaming, which I did, clearly. And so I figured I would just start here. I would start streaming on YouTube and maybe look into those other streaming platforms, Mixer and Twitch. And I don't really know what those are all about and what kind of things I need to do, what hoops to jump through in order to be allowed to do that. From the little I do know, I'm pretty sure Impulse, I'm doing this really poorly, huh? Impulse said that for some reason he wasn't able to use Twitch in the beginning, and so he like eventually now he's like partnered with Mixer and he's a big advocate, and it does seem pretty great, so I might look into that as well. Like I said, not just interested in Twitch or whatever works best for me and whatever works best for, I guess, the viewers is what I'm going to choose. I'm not just going to choose Twitch because it's a bigger name or whatever. I don't even know that it's a bigger name. I'm just assuming. because I hear it talked about more in my circles. So, anyways, yeah, let's do this. This is really cool. I've never built like this, right? Because usually you're building with the building blocks that is your building blocks. You're not actually like changing the building blocks once you place them. I don't know, I get a kick out of that. These stripped logs is just something new, and it kind of changes Minecraft, right? The very first block like this was the path blocks, and those are really cool. I'm definitely not gonna have enough wood, by the way. I think I did the math and realized that I'm going to need something crazy like 17 stacks of wood. Or no, more than that, right? Gee, I don't know. I forget now. But I'm going to need a silly amount of wood for this. But it'll be worth it. And that just means that it might not get done in this live stream. It's not like I have, you know, a gazillion hours to put in. I do need to go to bed at some point for, you know, getting to work and stuff. But also, my wife's going to come home eventually. We're going to want to have dinner together and hang out. So, who knows how long this stream will be. I'm assuming at least another hour or so. And I don't know that we'll get like a ton of progress in by then, but we'll at least get this block done for sure, clearly. And then, what else? Maybe another block? Who knows? Who knows what we can accomplish, right, guys? Maybe we'll have to do a little bit of a mining session. Oh, but I did want to keep chatting about some other cool stuff. Sorry that I'm just nonstop rambling, but I'm thinking, you know, hey, I don't have a chat going on or anything like that. In fact, let me just double check, see if there's any, you know, nobody's watching, nobody. But, you know, I figured this made more sense to, create a live stream and even just have it permanent on the channel. But it'll sort of give me an excuse to have one big raw cut and not just try to, like, because obviously my regular videos, I'm trying to keep them within the 25-30 minute range ish. I did post a couple early on that were like an hour plus, and those just don't seem to do as well because you just look at that and you think, God, I don't have enough time for that. So, you know, I get it. That's cool. I feel the same way too. Don't get me wrong. When I see my content creators that I'm subscribed to, when I see them post huge videos, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to have to wait for later to do that. And even then, I end up, you know, like double tapping to skip along. Ooh, can I get it? Yeah, cool. Like I said, I get a kick out of these stripped logs. Never built with them. But anyways, I did want to talk about some other serious-ish stuff and, you know, just get some ideas out there. I have mentioned, I think, briefly that I'm a pastor. When I say I'm a pastor, I mean I'm an ordained pastor. I'm not currently the pastor of a church, right? I go to a church where I live, and there's like a pastor that preaches, right? But I just happen to be an ordained pastor that I'm just a lay person there. I have little to no role in the church other than, you know, helping out with youth group and stuff like that. But I'm not the youth leader. I'm not the whatever. So, anyways, I'm just sort of hanging out at that church and loving life, and it's a great church, and I love everybody there. You know, they're quickly becoming my family. My wife and I have been there for almost a year now. I think around Thanksgiving is when we started last year at this church. Prior to that, I was preaching for 2 years at another church nearby that happens to be my father-in-law's church. So my wife's father is an ordained pastor himself. He started his own church, which is amazing of him, super courageous of him, super bold and amazing. He's an amazing guy, and he's a big influence in my life. I look up to him, and I hope he knows that. You know, it's easy enough to say that now, and I'm just thinking as I'm saying that, like, you know, the people in your life. Oh, out of wood. Oh gosh. But you know what I'm saying, the people in your life, do you really tell them you love them enough? Do you really tell them how much they mean to you and how much they influence you? I don't know. So, yeah, shout out to that fella, my father-in-law. He's the best. Ooh, did I get some, why did I get some glitches there? Are stripped logs a little glitchy when you're jumping on them? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to try to figure out how to just strip all these. And what was I saying? Oh, so I did preach at his church for 2 years. Basically, he started this church well over 10 years ago now. And then, of course, I show up and I marry his daughter and all that. And you know, I'm like, hey, I want to be a pastor too. And that's something that I wanted to do for a long time before I even knew my wife and all that. But he goes, you know, he's sort of discipling me. He's teaching me things that he knows, and he understands that, you know, I went to college, so I am learning a lot there as well. And so once I graduated college, I became ordained, and he said, hey, listen, you can preach at this church. And I think it didn't start off right away, but, or did it? I don't remember now. See, memory's funny. But very quickly, at least, I began to, sorry, I'm like leaning into the mic. I began to preach at his church every other week. He would preach one week and I would preach the next. And it was a great little system we had going on for 2 years. So I did a lot of preaching. I did some like little preaching type things in school. We had a Christian preaching class. We had to preach 2 sermons. So like that was really my first taste of writing and preaching a sermon, I think. I don't think I did anything prior to that because I wasn't even ordained back then. But of course I have experience in front of crowds and stuff from rapping, you know, like doing performances, so I've never been one to like fear public speaking or anything like that, so that wasn't an issue. I just had to get the theology, I had to get the knowledge and become ordained. But you know, I preached for 2 years at that church. I was invited to speak at numerous other churches over the years. So I've preached in multiple churches with varying sizes of congregations and even just diverse congregations, whether they're an older crowd or a younger crowd or maybe more diverse crowd ethnically, you know, racially. And I love that. You know, there's just you go to a different town or a different city and there's different people living in that town or city. It's and you know, and I don't necessarily, I wouldn't say that I change the way I preach depending on them, because I mean the truth is the truth no matter who you're telling it to, right? But in the same sense, it's just different. It's different. The response is different, that's for sure, right? The response to what you're preaching is gonna be different depending on who's listening. So there's that. I do have a lot of preaching experience, but I'm not preaching now. Of course, when I say I'm a pastor, I just mean I'm an ordained pastor. I'm also an ordained chaplain through this great organization. My wife is also an ordained chaplain, which is basically, people don't know what chaplain means. That's just, a chaplain is basically like a public pastor, a pastor to society. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Yeah, and there's that. So we're chaplains as well, but not preaching right now. I'd love to have my own church one day, and my pastor knows that. But right now we're just super happy where we're at, and God is just doing what he's doing in our lives, so we're happy to be where we're at. You know, make no mistake. However, I am also a YouTube content creator. No, barely, right? But I do that in my spare time for fun. This is a just total hobby right now, and I do love this hobby, don't get me wrong. I have a bunch of other hobbies. I've mentioned that I used to do a ton of parkour with my buddies. I've done a lot of things. I used to want to be an aggressive rollerblader like Brink. You guys know Brink, the Disney movie. Oof. Oh man, that's way taller than I thought. I took so much damage from that. Now I have a hole in my ceiling, you silly goose. That looks so funny, doesn't it? The lighting is all glitched out. It's not smooth at all. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of wood gathering session here. Yeah. Sorry, I have like a burp coming on. Don't want to be burping on camera. But, what was I saying? Hobbies and things. I do parkour. I say I used to do parkour because the band kind of broke up. Alex had to go move away to a faraway state like a jerk face, and he was basically the leader. And we never said, hey man, you're the leader. It wasn't like that. But everybody knows Alex is pretty much the leader of Stampede. It just is what it is, and we love it. I couldn't, you can't ask for a better leader. Leader in the sense that he handled all like the media stuff. He handled like the YouTube side of things. So I'm super new to YouTube. I wasn't really involved in the editing process of our videos or uploading or anything like that at all. So he handled that, and so he's the man. Oh, look at this! This is all not chunk loaded, right? I've played Minecraft since I did this mining session over in this forest, but it wasn't chunk loaded, so I'm getting all sorts of loots out of it. That's cool. Oh my gosh, I do that all the time. Throw something and then pick it right back up. How annoying! How annoying. But yeah, Alex had to move away. Elsie is, and I'm part of me wants to like not use real names in a way when I'm just talking, because like whatever, who knows who's ever gonna see these videos, but but also our names are like on our YouTube channel at Stampede, so yeah, it is what it is. But I always call LC LC. I never use his real name anyway, so there's that. But yeah, we got a couple other folks that are still local, but you know, well, it's just like I said, the band broke up a little bit. Over time. And yeah, actually, Mark was the first guy to move like away. He moved like close, but it still makes a difference. And I'm not, you know, he had to do what he had to do. He's basically building a family. He's got a career. He's got a wife. So that's, you know, good. And we still hung out all the time. And but yeah, you know, some folks are moving far away. I was about to say LC moved to London for a while, and he bounces around, and so he's amazing. I mean, he's a crazy guy to do that. He bounces around to different places, different states, different countries, and so you gotta give him respect for that. It's an amazing thing that he can and is willing to do that. He's a bit of a nomad, and something that we've talked about for ages, me and LC, just the nomadic life is super honorable and super desirable. We've always sort of envied that and desired that, but never really happened for me, and may never happen for me, but he's doing it, so give him credit. I've done a fair share of traveling. I mentioned I went to Israel. Did I mention that? Yeah, actually, my first episode of this channel, I mentioned, oh yeah, my wife and I went to Israel recently. It's beautiful. So I'm traveling. I went to Israel and to Greece, and I've been different states throughout the U.S., and Hawaii and all that stuff, Puerto Rico. Not that Hawaii and Puerto Rico aren't states. I guess Puerto Rico's not a state, but it is. I mean, come on, Puerto Rico. I mean, I shouldn't say come on, Puerto Rico. Come on, America. What are you doing? Puerto Rico's a state. You guys, awesome. And in as much as you guys want to be a state, you're a state. I know that there's value in that independence as well, so I mean, you guys are amazing. I love Puerto Rico. It was a great place to be. Anyways, I'm rambling hardcore. But yeah, the band broke up with Stampede, so I haven't been doing parkour much at all lately. I'll like do some handstands and like push-ups and make sure that I'm still semi-fit. But I haven't been practicing any of the movements like flips and things like that in a while. I'll check every like month or so. I'll just check to make sure I can still do a backflip, because that's a tricky one. I know I'm never gonna lose like Webster's. Like I would do a Webster off of a you know, anything that's like at least like a foot tall, and I'm never going to lose that movement. To me, that movement is super easy. Unless I get super fat, that's always going to be an easy movement. But I always got to make sure I can still do a flat ground backflip. And sure enough, every month or so when I make sure I can, it's pathetic. I know. If my friends are listening, they're like, oh, God. Because my friends do flips every day. They can't even imagine. And I'm just wandering around in circles, not being very efficient about this. They can't even imagine not doing flips every day, I'm sure. Because I was there once before, I know. But yeah, that's where I'm at with parkour. I don't really rollerblade much, but I dream. I know this is weird, and people tease me about how into rollerblading I am. I watch so many rollerblading things on Instagram, and they, you know, aggressive inline. That's what I'm talking about, rollerblading. Aggressive inline channels and things on Instagram, and it's amazing. I love watching it, and I'll have dreams about doing it. I find myself fantasizing about going to the skate park with my buddy Tom, who's a BMX extraordinaire. He's incredible at BMX. But yeah, I mean, I just don't get out and do it enough. It's sad. I did put brand new wheels on my rollerblades recently. These apples stink, by the way. It's definitely a waste of gold, because the golden carrots heal more of your hunger bars, and the saturation may even be bigger as well, or better as well. The golden apples are really just to get the absorption and to get whatever kind of healing or whatever it is that they give you as well. But yeah, I guess I thought golden apples would be a cool food source, but they're really kind of not. They're kind of stinky. Not very good. Not very good. I've been avoiding chopping down the bigger trees, but they do get you a ton of wood, and I don't want to leave this place a huge mess. At the same time, I just don't want to deal with all that, so I'll get what I can out of it. I flew a little bit far away from my base on purpose so that I wouldn't have to worry if I do make a mess of this. Plus, it's going to be deforested. It's going to look good. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I talk really fast. I'm a rapper. Come on. I got to talk a little fast. Yeah. So lots of things. Yeah, right. Rapping is a hobby of mine. I got all kinds of hobbies, right? And I've always been like that. I've loved being interested in many things at once. I do pest control for a living, and I am actually interested in that. Parts of it are hobby-like. I am super into termites, and that's what I do. That's like one of my main focuses or specialties or what have you in my field. You know, compared to my coworkers, you know, I'm super into termites, and I go out of my way to learn about it, you know, which is not exactly common. Termites aren't exactly the easiest thing to do, and if you're controlling termites, you know, it's one of the most what's the word, litigated areas of pest control. You're most likely to get sued for doing either termites or what's the other one? Because termites is the second most. I forget. I'm too distracted, but. Oh gosh, this is not good to be doing at night. Yeah, just jabbering on. I do have lots of hobbies. I solve Rubik's Cubes. It's super fun. I got one right here. Got a Rubik's Cube. Actually, this is not a Rubik's Cube. I lied. It's a V Cube. It's a pillowed V Cube, and if you don't know what that means, you're the nerd. I'm not the nerd. It's a pillowed V Cube, bro. It's so dope. It moves so fast. It's like for speed cubing, even though I don't really do the speed cubing. I just solve it because it's fun. I have like a 3x3, 5x5. I'm super nerdy into that stuff. I love puzzles. Yeah, those are some of my interests. Of course, I love theology. I love studying the Bible. All that stuff. That's a hobby, too. I mean, it's not just a career. It's not just a necessity. And it is a necessity to read the Bible. But it's a hobby, too. I love it. I adore it. And I'm not just saying that. So, anyways, all that good stuff. I guess, yeah, I wanted to talk about hobbies and things just to sort of, like, let you guys know what kind of personality I have behind this mask, right? And speaking of, okay, right, I wanted to circle back to the sort of, I guess, maybe main hobby, maybe. Parkour definitely used to be the main hobby, but it's, like I said, it's taken a backseat. I think rapping and Minecraft, for sure, are quickly topping the charts of my favorite hobbies. Again, like I said, I am making a new album right now, and it has everything to do with the name Surgeon, right? All the stuff I talked about last episode of mending the church, stitching the church, the bride of Christ back together to be whole again. Oh, that's my passion, right? And so this album is going to be probably called Church Unity, or ecclesiology, or something like that. Ecclesiology being the study of the church, like I mentioned. So something like that. I think ecclesiology, I like that. There's a fella named Shylin, I may have mentioned before. He's probably my favorite rapper ever. And I had the great fortune to meet him recently. He's a really cool guy, really sweet guy in real life. You know, he's not just rapping about Christ, he lives it. He lives the word of God. You can just tell from meeting him even briefly. He's got it in him. Great guy. But he has a couple albums, Theology Part 1 and Theology Part 2. Theology Part 2, what is that? Doxology. He's making another one called Sociology. So I don't want to seem like I'm piggyback writing off of him or whatever, by calling my album Ecclesiology, like I'm stealing his thunder. And I don't know, maybe he's planning on doing an ecclesiology album down the road, but so I don't want to steal that. Also, there is another gospel rap album called The Church, as you can imagine, so I don't want to steal names, but this is what I'm writing about, like Church Unity. So I might just call it Unity, so it doesn't get confused with the album The Church, or what. I don't know. And this is not, I'm not like a famous rapper like Shylin. I do it as a hobby, and I do it as a passion, as a ministry to folks local, but I'm not well known. I don't need to be well known. I don't care to be well known, although, the wider the message is spread, the better. But man, I'm doing a poor job at just being efficient, mining in one spot and all. Not doing a good job. But anyways, I don't want this mining session to get too long, although I want plenty of wood. I want to get back to building. But what was I saying? Yeah, my album. I'm super excited. Imagine if I just whacked that chicken with my axe by accident. I was so worried for a second that I might have. Hey, stop it. I'm just basically avoiding mobs here as well. Right. So my album, ouch. My album, hey, you're scary and terrifying. Go attack that skeleton. Go get him. Oh, the skeleton ran away. How cool. So, keep the skeletons at bay, Mr. Doggy Dog. That's not my dog. I don't have any bones on me. Yeah. That album's going to be super fun to make. I'm in the process, I think I mentioned. I have like 4 songs in the works, and none of them are completed, which is not exactly the ideal way of doing it. You know, I think ideally you would make one song and move on to the next and make one song. But at the same time, I have this idea for an entire album, so all these ideas are popping in my head, and some of these ideas I'm like, no, that has to be a separate song. It's a great idea, but I'm not going to like squeeze it into one song and then, so that's how that's going to have to work, which is great and exciting. But yeah, I've got a bunch of songs in the mix right now, as it is, and I'm kind of like holding off on certain things for certain reasons with that, so it's a little bit slow going, but no big deal. Oh, let's see how this looks here, huh? Let's see how it looks. It's not lit up and it's dark, so it's not going to look that great, but not too shabby, right? Not too shabby, not too shabby. Ooh, get in there. Oh, you dork. I messed it up. Yeah. Anywho. What do I do? Okay. Don't mind me. Kind of bad at this thing, huh? Jeesh. I get all distracted and I stop myself mid-sentence. I'll get better. I promise. Practice makes perfect. This is my first live stream. Give me some slack. Guys. Come on. I'm crazy. So, what was I talking about? All sorts of nonsense. Yeah, the album's really exciting. That's something that my brain is very often focused on lately. I did just have, I hate to say it and sound weird and spiritual, but I had another vision yesterday. I hadn't even told my wife this yet, so you guys are getting a sneak peek. But I had another amazing vision yesterday, actually at youth group. We were doing this amazing thing called Lectio Divina, and I had this other vision, right before we dove into the Lectio Divina, of these Bibles all being lined up. Picture like a big L shape with hundreds and thousands of Bibles lined up as far as the eye can see in an L shape. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you're focused on the stitchings of the Bibles, right? The back, the like the binding, where the stitches are, and I was sort of reminded of the stitches that need to be stitched into the bride to bring her back together. So this was another powerful, potent vision. And it came out of nowhere. I had never thought of that before. And this is a comparison that will be made in one of my songs of the stitches in the Bible, stitching the bride back together, because we have to use the Bible, we have to use the truth to stitch her back together. Most of the divisions, I think I said before, involve heresies and false doctrines and misconceptions and things like that, and things that can be thwarted with the truth. And so it's very much so. Oh, how weird. What did I just see that was glitching? It's that block. I knew it. That weird block I didn't mean to mine earlier. Yeah, so it's going to be the stitches that have to do it. I thought that was a really cool vision. I was so blessed by it. And I even had another sneak peek here. I had another vision. I did tell my wife about this. This was a while ago, one Sunday morning at church. I had this vision of the scrolls of the ancient text, the Bible, right? The old ancient scriptures. I should have done that last. You dork. I should have thought of that. And then it would have not lined up so funky. I'm going to fix that. Guys. Let's do it. Sorry, getting distracted yet again. Yeah, so another great vision of the scrolls coming down from the heavens, in a sense, right? And being used as bandages. Oh, I thought that was so cool, right? Had this vision of bandages being wrapped around the bride to mend the wounds, and again, to like sort of piece together the broken parts. I could almost cry just thinking about it, how crazy these visions are. And these aren't things that my creative mind are thinking. I refuse to take credit for it. Because it's never just when I'm trying to write, lines for my rap that these come. It's just, I'm just sitting, like I said, Sunday morning, and this thing just pops in my brain just as church is getting started. I don't even think church was even started yet. It's not like It's not like my pastor had mentioned something similar in his sermon or anything. It's just a crazy vision out of nowhere. I love it. I love it. God still speaks, people. But with all of that being said, a lot of the writing process for at least this particular song, this one particular song called The Surgeon's Vision, right, is going to involve a lot of the visions that I had. And I'm basically not even writing this song. Basically, once these visions occur to me, once these ideas, or whatever you want to call it, right, once these visions happen to me, once I get these visions, then I'm writing these visions down and sort of working them into a rhythm, working them into a way that can rhyme, and using lyricism, using my talents that I've honed over the years to make it into a song, right? But these visions are the crux of the song. And I could just as easily, if I was a book writer, I could use them to write books. If I was just doing poems, I could write them into poems. But I'm a rapper, so these visions are coming to me, and I'm going to turn them into rap songs. That's what it is. That's what's going to happen. That's what is happening. So that's really cool. All that being said, this all has to do with me being the surgeon. And me calling my Minecraft name Surgeon doesn't have to be religious in nature. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to, you don't have to be a Christian to watch my videos. Of course, I'm a Christian. It's going to come up sometimes as I'm just chit-chatting. But I definitely want to fix this, huh? You guys would yell at me if I didn't fix it. Excuse me. Yeah. So these are things that are, just exist in my life. All good things. And so, yeah, I'm writing this song. I originally had a vision a while back. So I used to have another rapper name as well. I think I mentioned that before. Yikes. My rapper name used to be Jam, and Jam came out of just basically nowhere. I don't even truly, I think I know where it came from, but I don't even know if I made that up or whatever. These stories you tell yourself, yeah, this is how I came up with that name. I don't even really remember how I came up with the name Jam anymore. Wow, how pathetic. I'm out of wood again. That's not good. That is not good. I'm going to need to do some serious mining in between videos and in between things and stuff. This is going to be quite the project. It's not going to get done in this live stream. It's not going to get done in a video upcoming. It's going to be a project, but this is something we can work on as part of the series. This building project is going to be part of the series, and once it's done, of course, we're going to move on to other building projects and stuff, but in the middle of this building, when we're sick of building, we can continue with the gold farm, which actually is just kind of more building, I guess. But I'm going to work on a slime farm. I leaned to the left. I'm leaning away from the mic like a dummy. I'm going to build a slime farm so that I can get slime balls and things to automate my melons and pumpkins. I'm going to try to do all sorts of cool redstone stuff. So that's all up and coming. We haven't gotten into a lot of that yet in this series because I just haven't had the accessibility like to slime and whatnot, like I said. But yeah, that's all coming. Don't you worry. It's all coming. And I know that some of my friends who used to play a lot of vanilla and maybe switch to modded and don't even play much at all anymore, they don't know how intense vanilla redstone can actually be. So I'm excited to show that off to them and whoever may watch as well. So I'm excited because I'm super into that stuff. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good stuff. What else? So the songs that I'm working on, the songs that I'm working, sorry, again, it's hard to talk and not be distracted and things. Should I keep talking about this stuff? I guess so. What's the harm? You can always ignore. The songs, the one is called The Surgeon's Vision. Oh, I started to say it, right? I'm such a silly dummy. That's why I was talking about my original name. My original name used to be Jam. That was my rapper name. My older brother was a rapper, and he got me into it and all that, a Christian rapper. His name was Dynamic, so, we made some songs together. We made some songs separately. He started it before me, so he had songs before I even really rapped. But then we made some songs together, and it was great. And I made a bunch of songs by myself. And pretty much all the songs we did together and all the songs I did by myself turned into about 12 songs. Really, it was more than that because I wrote like a song for my wife, and I wrote a song for my other brother. and things like that just weren't going to be like part of the CD that I'm handing out to people who, oh, Jacob, you're a rapper, give me your CD. That, that conversation happens a lot, and I'm not going to hand out those songs, right? So I tell people, yeah, I basically have 12 songs. Really, it's more like 14 or 15. But, yeah. So all those songs were done under the name Jam. The album was called The Change of Faith because I didn't have a faith really, and if I did, it was very milky and watery and vague. No offense to my parents or anything, I just wasn't really raised with a strong faith. That's okay, it is what it is. Not to get into that too much, but so yeah, I had a change of faith. I had a conversion. I became Christian. So I called my album The Change of Faith under the name Jam, which I eventually just decided randomly after creating the name, and this is silly, but I was like, what does Jam mean? People would ask me, where did you get the name Jam from? And so I would say, oh, it's an acronym for Jesus Anthem Music. Anthem music, right? Jesus Anthem Music, which kind of makes sense, but not really for a name. Is the height? Yeah, sorry. Doesn't make sense for a name because I'm not Jesus Anthem Music. Maybe I make Jesus Anthem Music. So my name being Jam and standing for Jesus Anthem Music never really made sense. Almost makes sense as a brand, but not a name. So I never was too crazy about the name, to be perfectly honest. And I had mentioned years and years ago to one of my youth leaders, his rapper name is Direct, or was Direct. He also has since changed his name, and he explained to me, like, changing your rapper name is fairly common until you get super famous, or if you get super famous. Changing your name is fairly common, and it's good to just sort of reinvent yourself. And he told me, like, if you want to change your name from Jam to anything else, don't be discouraged to do that. And I said, yeah, but it's weird. And he's like, hey, listen, buddy, it's not like you're some famous rapper. Just change and no one's ever going to know. And of course now I'm confessing it all to you. But yeah, so I always knew that there was a good chance that I would change my name from Jam to something else, but I never knew what. I never could figure it out. Lo and behold, as I developed as a believer, as I developed my theology, I became incredibly passionate about this concept of church unity, mainly because I actually read the stinking Bible, and it's all throughout there, and I'm just like shocked that it gets missed so often in people's theologies. It gets missed by the church, and don't get me started, right? But this is something very important. It's something very, very important. Sorry, distracted again, of course, because now I'm thinking, oh, I need to go get more wood. Oh man, that does look kind of good. You gotta hand it to me. Yeah, you gotta hand it to Minecraft. No, it looks pretty good. I like that. Cool. So it's gonna be a lot taller and obviously have the little branches for the cross. We'll talk about all that stuff eventually, I think. Talk about whatever. Anyways, getting distracted. One thing at a time, Surgeon. So my name Surgeon spontaneously came into existence as I developed as a believer and developed my theology. Like I said, wow, man, sorry, streaming brain, not good. Recording brain, right? Yeah, as I developed all my thinking and theology, I became passionate about church unity, and I had the idea of creating this album of church unity, of ecclesiology, sharing my ecclesiology, right? And I wasn't sure if I was going to have to use the same name Jam or another cooler name would come to me, but I didn't want it to be forced, nor did I want it to be corny or unappealing. So I didn't want to just sit there and try to think really hard to get a good name, right? So when I had this crazy vision of the bride of Christ on a surgeon's table being broken up into pieces, and guess who's the surgeon, right? It's me. It's my brothers and sisters who are passionate about this, who see this travesty and want to work toward it. The name surgeon came quite naturally, and I've explained why it's an XurgeonMC instead of the S. But the name surgeon itself came quite naturally as an extension of that original vision that sparked the song, one of the songs that I'm working on. Long story short, right? Long story long. so that's that. That's how the name Surgeon came to me. It came through the vision, which also sparked one of the songs. So the song is going to be called Surgeon's Vision, and so my name is Surgeon now, and I love it. I love it. It's so great, and it fits who I am. It fits my personality, my passions, and it's incredible. Again, I can't take credit for it. I'm gonna just be bold enough to say that God gave it to me, and that's so much better than me coming up with it, right? Die, heathen. Just doing a little Minecraft pest control, right? Yeah. Anyways, I'd love to, by the way, and this thought popped in my head, so I might as well say it now. I'd love to get more responses and more comments on videos. I get, X amount of views and like 1 or 2 comments, and it's just so fun for me to like listen to you guys' thoughts and answering questions and things. Or feel free to ask me questions, whether it's Minecraft related, whether it's personal related or rapping related or whatever. I'd love to just have more interaction between viewers, and of course, obviously, I hope to gain more viewers as we travel on this journey. We're only 10 episodes in, right? And I don't even have any artwork yet or anything like that. So, ooh, creepers. Artwork on my channel, so it's just sort of unappealing right now. But I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. In fact, I won't take credit for it. I got Alex working on it as of today. He said he's going to do a little sort of rough draft for me for maybe some album artwork. Not album artwork. Gosh, I'm rapping on the brain. What do you call it? YouTube artwork or whatever. My banner, my icon, all that good stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited. Thanks so much, buddy. You're the best. Oh, gosh, this is so deadly. So deadly. I really am determined to get that square finished, and I'm not even going to do a floor or ceiling yet because I don't necessarily want everything inside the structure to be wood, and you're not going to see it from the outside. Hey, stop it. Stop it. Ow. Good thing I have extra hearts. Oh no, buddy, I want to save you. I don't have any splash potions on me. I should carry splash potions of weakness on me to save our little friends when they're sick like that. Zombies hurt so little that I'm just like willing to let them hit me in order to get some more wood. But yeah, I feel like there's probably more things I wanted to say about rapping and albums and songs and things, but I forget. So, a drown. Scary. Can there be drowned zombie villagers? That would be so cool. I don't think they exist yet, but that would be very cool. Very cool indeed. Hey, I need that wood for my cross, bro. Oh, no. Oh, there goes the wood, right? There goes the wood. Grr. Whatever. Ooh, I'd love to get a trident. I don't think I've been able to get my hands on a trident in survival Minecraft yet, so that'd be so cool. That's definitely a goal in this series, is to get myself a trident and play with it. Play with Riptide, but definitely play with what do you call it? Loyalty? Yeah, play with loyalty, because I think that's probably more practical. But Riptide looks like a lot of fun anyways. Yeah. If Riptide came out before Elytra, that would be intense. People would be like, whoa, this is the craziest thing ever. We can just sort of launch ourselves over mountains and, of course, ender pearls, right? But you can combine them. I don't know if you guys have been watching Hermitcraft lately, but Mumbo and Iskal and Grian did a golfing thing, and I'm watching Impulse and his buddies do it now, Tango and ZF, all doing this cool thing where they throw trident and excuse me, and ender pearls to launch themselves super far, and it's kind of like check it out, it's really cool. And I don't know who built it. I don't watch all the Hermits, so I don't know who built it, built the golf course, but it's really cool. Fun things can be done with Riptide. It's neat, but loyalty is definitely more practical, right, as a weapon and whatnot. But speaking of, I don't even know that the trident is super useful as a weapon by itself. So maybe practical is not necessarily what we're looking for here. What am I doing? I got too much junk. Where's my ender chest? Dang it. Now I don't even know where my base is, because I've been... Ooh. Come on. Where's my base? I know my desert is... There it is. It's nice to have a beacon. Anyways, I guess I'm done rambling about like rapping stuff, but I'm gonna talk some more about Minecraft as I'm playing it, and just do some normal, regular chit-chatting. Yeah, I need to go get an ender. Come on, an ender chest. I think I might have... Wait a minute. Not here. Not here. Is it in here? Is that even possible? Can you put ender chest? Oh, you can. See, I grabbed a bunch from the end cities since they're sitting around. And I said, hey, they're like kind of expensive. I might as well grab them, right? And I use... Oh, more wood here. Look at that. I use kind of expensive very loosely, I suppose. Because, of course, I got all that, not even really going out of my way to get obsidian. Let me do this and this. And I guess I'll put some saplings in here, too. I'm not even trying to pick up saplings. It's just happening. Da 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 da. Oh, there's a reason for that. Just because my inventory is wacky. Good enough. Ooh, apples. Might as well. Might as well. I'm gonna run out of these soon. I'm gonna have to switch back to potatoes, but I plan on doing the carrots very, very soon. I think that's probably gonna have to be my vegan food source. If I ate, if I ate some rotten flesh right now, would that be vegan? Because it's like cannibalism. Hey, vegan friends out there, if we eat each other, are we still vegan? Anywho, let's think. I need more wood. Yes. What do we have to think about? Oh, this is what I was thinking about. Wanted that. Oops. Yippee. Let me go grab some potatoes. I'm already sick of these things. Gosh. Not a good food source. I honestly would prefer to eat potatoes. Because the particle effects are annoying, and the lack of saturation is surprising, and the actual filling of your hunger. I guess they just weren't really meant to be food. That's okay. That's okay. I can't say I'm surprised that they're not good food, because it's ridiculous. Nobody told me that, hey, golden apples are the best food ever. Anywho, let's get some more trees. Let's get some more logs, shall we? It's going to be a lot easier in the daytime, so I'm not worried about getting blown up. I don't have to have my head on a swivel as much. Ouch. Quit it. I hear people say negative things about smite on a sword, and I get really offended, guys. Come on. Because if you get smite 5 on a sword, as we do on our less dumpy sword, if you have smite 5, you can kill zombies and skeletons. Ouch. Check it out. Guaranteed kill a zombie in one hit, unless they have armor or something, right? You're going to kill skeletons in one hit. I don't know why you would be against having smite, and I know why would you want sharpness so bad, because a lot of the, like, if you're just carrying a sword on you as, like, just general defense like I am now, like, oh, something popped up and attacking me, let me whack it, that's fine. I get you want sharpness 5 if you want to intentionally go out blaze hunting or enderman, or like things like that. Sure, it makes sense. The ender dragon, the wither, actually no, not the wither, right? Smite 5 is good on that. But yeah, I get there are certain things you want sharpness for. Maybe if you're looting end cities because they'll take care of shulkers better. But sorry, again distracted. Smite 5 as like an everyday carry, if you will, to use sort of like weaponry lingo as your EDC. Smite 5 sword is way better to me because you can kill zombies and skeletons in one hit. Creepers is best to just, you know, to give a long shot, right? If you have power 5, which I don't, right? If I have power 5, most of the time they're going to die in one shot of the arrow. And if they don't, you can just whack them with your sword or with your axe or anything and they're going to die. So you don't really need sharpness to handle creepers, right? Because you might as well keep them at bay, you know, with your bow regardless. And spiders, if you're like, oh, I need sharpness to keep spiders away, you know, as your everyday carry, like, oh, I get attacked by spiders a lot. That is so silly. One, this is an effective strategy that I've discovered. You can have, like, efficiency 5 on your axe, and unbreaking and mending and all that good stuff, and Bane of Arthropods 5, which sounds ridiculous. How dare you suggest that Bane of Arthropods might actually be handy? And I do dare. Because if you know, if you have enough enchanted books or whatever, maybe you have an AFK fish farm if you're not being vegan or something like that, you might as well take some of those Bane of Arthropods that are just stockpiled, right? And put it on your axe, and then if a spider does come by, it's like whack, and it's dead in one hit. Whack, whack. You're just killing all the spiders, right? It's amazing. I genuinely think that having Bane of Arthropods 5 on an axe is ideal because now you're covered. You got the creepers and the skeletons and the zombies all covered pretty well. Like I said, most creepers are going to go down in one hit of a power 5 bow, but actually I shouldn't say most. I want to say it tends to be about 50-50, but then you can whack them with just about anything and finish them off. So you'd never have to worry about them blowing up in your face. If you're like caving and all of a sudden you find yourself encountering numerous mobs at once, I get that that can be a little more complicated. But even then, what are you running into? Like zombies and skeletons. If it's a bunch of creepers, it can be a little pain in the butt, but just keep them at bay with your sword. Don't even necessarily try to kill them. And then walk backwards to shoot them with your bow or something. I mean, come on, come on. This is just Combat 101 to me. I'm surprised at how negative people can get. Watch that. Whack. See, he would be dead. Whack. Maybe it's 2 hits. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, maybe it's 2 hits if you have nothing. I wasn't sure what it would be. I figured it would be a bunch more than that. Anywho, that's some Combat 101 for you. It's smart to have like a Sharpness 5 on Breaking 3, Mending sword on you as well for just like when you know you're going to need it. Maybe you have like an Ender, and I used to do that. I used to leave a Sharpness 5 Looting 3 sword at my Ender, to just kill them faster. You know, you can get Sweeping Edge. Of course, Sweeping Edge regardless is going to be beneficial, so you might as well go with that. But yeah, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. I'm just surprised at how negative people can be towards Smite, as if it's completely useless, when most of the time you're encountering mobs that are just an annoyance on, like, you know, when I'm doing something like this, just gathering logs, to have Smite 5 is just unbelievably beneficial. Because if I had Sharpness, I wouldn't kill them in one hit. At least not most of the time. I don't even know if it's even possible. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm overlooking it. But definitely Smite is better. It's a misconception that Smite 5 is going to be just as good as... Sorry, I have it backwards. It's a misconception that Sharpness 5 is going to be just as good as Smite 5 against Undead. Because it's just not. It's just not. Anywho... I like to ramble about stuff. I like to allow myself to be passionate about goofy things like that. So I am a big advocate for Smite 5. There you have it. I'm getting a decent amount of wood here, folks. Decent amount. I definitely would imagine I have enough to finish that one block. It's already 5:45 in real time. Oh, I'm stuck. I don't know when my wife's coming home, so my plan is to basically keep streaming until she texts me and says, hey, I'm on my way home. So, yeah, that'll be cool. Oh, shoot. Guess what, guys? I was supposed to be doing dishes. So maybe I'll end it a little bit sooner and do some dishes. Oh, my gosh, that's hilarious. I totally forgot. I'll definitely get that done. Otherwise, I'm going to be in big trouble. I'm going to be in big trouble from the boss, the wife. Yeah, I better get to that at some point. But I'm going to stream for a little bit while longer. Maybe, actually, since it's going to be a good leaving off point, I guess I'll head back to my base soon and finish off that cube and say, there you go. And we might have to do, how many cubes are there? 7 in total, is that right? No. Yes. Yes. 6 normally. I normally build across like so, like I demonstrated before. Oops, that's not a good place to demonstrate. I normally build a cross that is utilizing 6 blocks. Oy, that was dumb of me. I'm such a fool. It's normally 6 blocks tall, but because it's a giant structure, since it's super big, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I find is going to look a little bit better. Maybe it just looks better anyways. I'm a dork. No, but it's going to look better as the structure regardless. And it kind of makes sense to some extent because I don't know if you know this, right? And of course, let's not kid ourselves. A cross is a very efficient torture device. It's what it is. It's not just a beautiful religious symbol, although it is in some ways. And you got to understand that Christians don't look at the cross as just a nice symbol. We ought to be at least keenly aware that it's a torture device, and that's what they killed our God with. So, and I don't mean to chuckle at that, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just so, it's so crazy. It is what it is. So I bring this up because what it is, you're hanging people on a cross, and if you don't know, your wingspan is I was about to say exactly, but it's at least roughly the same as your height, right? So I'm about 5'3", 5'4" IRL, right? And so my wingspan should be around that, like 5'3", 5'4". Maybe it's not exact, right? But it's not 4 feet. It's not, whatever. It's not 7 feet. It's about the same height as you. And so if you're a taller person, you're gonna have a bigger wingspan. And I'm sure that can vary a little bit, but that's just what I heard. Maybe I'm totally off. I'm not a scientist. But I do know a thing or two about biology. That's for sure. That's for sure. A little bit. A thing or two. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a biologist. But I like it. I like biology. I loved it. Loved that class. Oh, one of my favorite classes, biology, anatomy and physiology, all that good stuff. Couldn't get enough. Took more biology in college, but not to go off on that tangent. What was I even talking about? So the cross, right? The cross ought to be about as tall as it is wide, except you need a little bit more room so that they're not like standing on the ground. So you're gonna guarantee it's gonna be a little bit taller than it is wide in that way. Where the body hangs, it's as tall as it is wide, but it's gonna be a little bit off the ground. I figured an extra 3 feet off the ground, right? Because in Minecraft, let's just demonstrate. Sorry. In Minecraft, you're 2 blocks tall, so you need this. That's like the bare minimum to but it at the same time, there's usually a little bit sticking up, and you don't want to be standing right on the ground, so you're inevitably gonna have at least this going on. So that's where the 6-block method came from for me. It's off the ground. It has the thing on top, although some crosses were just like a capital T, not a lowercase t. I don't know if y'all know. That was a common way of crucifying people as well. But they... Oops. Ugh, I didn't mean to insta-mine that. I didn't know that was gonna happen. They would hang a sign above your head, so I think that was probably the main, if not only, reason to have it taller than you. Plus, you're going to be drooping down anyway. So, anyways, not to get all gruesome enough on that kind of a tangent. But there's no reason why a cross couldn't be much taller than you are and have you dangling even higher off the ground. In fact, I'm sure maybe some historians can totally, maybe you're already pulling out your hair or whatever. But I wouldn't doubt that crosses might be considerably taller than you are, so that you're more exposed. The reason for a public execution like this, let's be honest, let's remember, is to, you would crucify people outside of your city walls, which of course looks horrible. It looks painful. And they'll post your crimes above your head and say, hey, listen, if you commit these crimes, if you commit a crime in our city, this is what's going to happen to you, right? And so that's what they were trying to do with the Messiah and anybody else that committed crimes. By the way, the Messiah's crimes, Jesus, his crimes were supposedly, blasphemy, not so much against God, although they'll claim that, it's blasphemy against the king. He said he's Lord, and if he's Lord, then that means Caesar's not Lord, and how could he? Well, guess what, guys? Although we respect Caesar and we tithe, or not tithe, but we're going to pay our taxes. Caesar's not Lord. Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah, is Lord. So, yeah, there's that. Anyways, wow, that came out of nowhere. But, not to preach. Not the preaching's bad. Sorry, I'm like ducking under my mic like a dummy. Ta-da! Okay, we finished one of the cubes. Really cool, really cool. I'm excited about that. And what was I talking about? Oh, crosses, just the general shape and why I'm going with the shape I'm going with, even though I'm doing a very long-winded version. It probably makes sense that crosses were, considerably more taller than the individual being crucified because they're higher up, so you're more noticeable. You crucify them outside of the city, so when you're traveling into the city, you say, hey, listen, we better not do anything bad here because that's what they'll do to us. That was the goal. So they used, like I said, they used the Messiah as an example, which is sad and gruesome, but it is what it is. Now he is our example. See how everything gets turned around on its head? They did not know what they were doing. If anything, they just gave us ammo. Gotta love it. And I say they, I mean I'm Greek, so me, us. It's my fault. It's my sin that crucified him. Anyways, got dark for a second. Got dark. Sorry, I'm trying to stay jolly. I'm playing a video game after all. This is a fun video game. So this is the cross. It looks so beautiful. It just looks like a tube right now. So I will eventually fix this one to make it stripped on the outside. I will as well. What will I do? Of course, build the additional ones, so that might take some time. Maybe we'll do each one in a live stream. I think this was a decent length for a live stream, at least for me. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe I can find out. But 2 minutes 50 seconds. That's not right. What is this nonsense? Sorry, it's gonna play for a sec. Can I tell how long the live stream is? Is this live stream not working? No, it's working. 2 minutes. There's my voice. Crazy. Live streams are fascinating, by the way. Oh, it's been about 40 something minutes maybe. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave off right about here. But I think maybe if we do like 40-minute live streams or so, 7 times, we'll get this all done. And, you know, so this is gonna be over the course of the next, I don't know, let's just guesstimate the 7 weeks or so. If I do 1 live stream a week, on top of the videos that I'm already making, because I don't want to necessarily take away from the videos. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. One of the things that I plan on doing in the future, and I've mentioned it before, I need to make some sort of mob farm to get lots of gunpowder, mainly, but all the other goodies as well, so I can keep having firework rockets. Anyways, so this is what we've accomplished today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my first live stream. It was really fun. I loved doing it. So I'm going to try to figure out how to save it onto my channel just in case anybody wants to come and watch it back, because I know that, you know, not everybody catches it live. Not anybody. Not everybody, if anybody. So, but thanks for listening to me ramble. I know that it's a little bit different subject matter that I'm talking about than my regular videos, but I sort of took the liberty to do that since it's a live stream. If that's a cool format, if you guys like the more personal stuff, if you like hearing about it, I don't mind incorporating it into my videos, but if you think, oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense, you'll post normal videos and then, you know, do some more in-depth, maybe personal talk, maybe more like Christian talk on live streams. If that makes sense to you guys, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me know what you think. And I guess I'll see you for episode 11 very soon, sooner rather than later. This project behind me, the building, the cross, is going to be put off on hold, like I said, for live streams only, I think. I like that idea. So, and since live stream wasn't too hard to do, I think that's the plan. We'll do about 7 of them and get that all done. So episode 11, we're going to continue work, I think, on the gold farm and some other bits and bobs. Maybe think about a slime farm and all that good stuff. Also, let me know, let me just say this real fast. Let me know if you guys think it's acceptable to use a slime finder on the internet to find my slime chunks in this seed. Or if you think I should just get creative and find them myself, because I do have ways of finding them. But if you guys don't think it's cheating to do it online, I'd maybe prefer to do it online. So let me know what you guys think. If that's cheating, no, just do it yourself, or I can just find the slime chunks online. So thanks for watching so much, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me during this live stream. I hope it wasn't too gruesome or too in-depth or whatever, or boring, of course. Let me know what I can fix. Let me know what I can do better, and I will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See ya.